What's up, everybody? It is Ishtar. I hope you can hear me. It is the 10th of August, 2026. Well, we could say that it is. No, it is a beautiful day. Earlier, it was raining. It was lightning and everything. I was like, oh, my father, my grandfather, and my grandmother, and my mother, they're up to something. Praise the Lord. Ashe, ashe. Because something just needs to be done. I think 2 Kings 25 is having to play out. But anywho, I hope everyone is having a beautiful Monday. I was feeling kind of indecisive, and I got to break myself out of it. So, on my outing yesterday, the day before yesterday, I went and I sat down and had something to eat, right? And so I was just like people watching. I could tell that these particular people were a couple, but they must have been out with some of his family members because she was Asian descent, look like. So I'm not sure if they consider Asian and Filipinos. They call them both Asian. I don't know. Do they? But at any rate, there was another lady there too. Must have been her husband's mother. But I just was looking at the mannerisms of the family dynamic. The Asian woman was very poised. She was. For the most part, most of them typically are. However, it was like, I don't know. It was like she was there, but she wasn't sure if I could jump into the conversation, or maybe it was a conversation that she didn't want to jump into because it was two other guys and it looked like their little boy, so they could have been the brothers and the mother and then her husband. So maybe he was a military guy, and I used to wonder about that too, but not. I know that well, it's told with passport bros, and it's just quite evident. Some people, I'm not going to say all, they do go over there because those women are, or some of them are they are, I don't know, what's the word? They bow down, I guess. I'm trying to think of the word. To the man. Or they act like they don't have a voice. They get married, and then when they say they come over here to the United States of America, and then they get Americanized, and then perhaps they start acting up, I don't know, or, who knows. But anyway, I just was people watching. But with me sitting there, I can see that. And then when they got ready to leave, it was even more odder, like the affection or the coupling, I don't know. The coupling was just off. It just seemed like it was off. Now, I'm going to say this to married people. Now, if you marry somebody, are you married to them, or is it only behind closed doors. I'm trying to figure that out. Because some couples, I don't know. I mean, I do know. I know what I want to say, but or should I say, I just know that I don't want no relationship like that. I'm just saying, either, and I know it's not going to be bliss every day, but it sure is not going to be looking like it on the outside either, right? I mean, I don't know. That's how you get stranger danger, or things just go haywire if you had somebody like I do, always trying to look and see how they can get you, stick you in the back, and take your relationship. I don't know. I mean, I do know. I'm just feeling my way through, because I don't know how people gonna take it, this conversation. But I mean, if things are happy but you don't know how to be affectionate or walk like you're involved with your family. Now, I've seen couples that do look like they are involved with their family, and let it continue. I hope that's your wife, your husband, right? Because, things can get a little haywire if it's not your spouse or your significant other, or, if you got third party situations and the other person don't know and they just happen to walk up, child, been there, done that, seen all of that, and that's just not good at all, especially this day and time, because people crazy. So they do it a different way. Like, for instance, when I was married to the one that I married twice, which is crazy to me, and not understanding or even knowing the terminology of narcissism, right? He was a narcissist, but he tried to play quiet until he wants to start an argument. And I do know that, okay, if somebody is just intentionally starting an argument, there's something else going on outside of the relationship, or there's something else that this person wants to keep secret. He gets to go off. He got to start an argument to get out the house, pretty much. And for the life of me, I don't know why he's still hanging around or thinking that something is going to come of us. Maybe I had him fooled when he walked out in 2008, right? Walked out on me. And with somebody else. Maybe she had plastic surgery to look like me. Because I know that is a thing for these criminals. But anyway, I didn't divorce him until 2014. So that was crazy on my part. And then I met the most wickedest man I could ever imagine. Didn't know it at the time because I had people in my immediate circle that were family members doing spells on me. So when we meet, I would be attracted to this dumb cunt who is definitely a devil. Okay? We got together sometime in 2013 and separated in 2014 too. No. And then he still don't want to go nowhere. He's still here. Now I have some people pulling up. Every time I get on making a video, I have people pulling up. I don't know, they could just be pulling up, but anywho. Life is too short to be wasting time in a twisted relationship. And I seen a little AI technology come through where they were saying something about Drake made another song and it's possibly directed at his rivalries. And I'm like, why are we always rivaling? And why is that glorified? Why? That is nothing but jealousy. And I think about, see, now they're coming over here to make noise while I'm trying to make a video. They need to just keep on going. But anyway, I see where Versace, when he first came out, he also had a secret rival, but he probably didn't know it. And you know, I look back at his unfortunate demise, which was crazy. If he's living in the kind of area that he was living in, oh my goodness. Anyway, if he's living in the kind of area that he would have been living in, making the kind of money that he made, I don't see how a random person could just walk up to somebody and just shoot them for no reason. And then, oh, ironically, he goes to a boathouse and kills himself. But what I want to know is, it's been so many years. Did that person who shot him, did he really kill himself? Did the family show? Anyway, because I know for a fact people stage red runnings and their own demise. They stage it. And I know this because my family and them are one of those people. And so, you know, they have to know somebody to have done it, to be trying to do it and continue to do it. Like I said before, Epstein is not gone. Trayvon Martin is not gone. You know, and lately, have y'all noticed that when there is a funeral, people are having closed caskets? But why is that? When Emmett Till had an open casket, and his body was a little bit disturbing to look at to the natural eye. And we know that with the morticians, they're able to put on makeup and fix you up and have you looking halfway decent. Now, unless half your head is missing, I don't know why some of these prominent people are having closed casket. Or the other thing they're doing is, oh, they were cremated. A lot of people, in my opinion, are committing fraud. And it's amazing how you try to go get a life insurance policy and they asking you 1,000 questions. And these people go get a life insurance policy and then, oh, so-and-so is no longer here anymore. I mean, it's a shame, the racketeering and the defrauding of citizens and what's really going on in the United States. Because, again, eyewitness. But anyway, let's get back to the coupling. Like, you know, Marjorie and Steve Harvey. I was looking up their information. Now, both her ex-husbands were drug dealers. And I'm not so sure if she's one of those Holly weirdos, her and Steve, affecting my life. Because it is some of y'all too, affecting my life. And I was, mad when they got rid of Steve Harvey show like Oprah. Your Steve Harvey show like Oprah. But maybe, just maybe, that was God speaking to you about what you was doing in secret. You know, King David, he was eyeballing Bathsheba like you did Miss Marcy. And I looked at some of Steve Harvey wife photos, and I'm Marcia, and she just looked like she was worried about something. She didn't look happy. She didn't. And then here goes Steve looking at Marjorie. But apparently, I mean, it was said that Marcia was the one that was sleeping in the car with you, right? I mean, the things we do, we go through hell and high water, and then that happens. But I could see it on Marcia's face that she wasn't happy. And sometimes money in a relationship just is not worth it. Hopefully she is happier now without Steve. Right? Because she didn't look happy at all. Then I was out the other day, and I was somewhere eating, and I was like, okay, the mother was paying attention to the child, but if that was her husband, while he was eating, he has a mustache, so the food was on his mustache. I'm not sure. I mean, you're out in public. I can see at home, perhaps, but why? She's sitting right across from him. She did not tell him, you have food on your... Even if it was just a relative. I mean, you sitting right across... That kind of stuff. And I wanted to... Because I'm, like, literally sitting across from him, too, because I can see it, right? And I'm like, what kind of couple is this? See, that kind of stuff. If you're with somebody, aren't you supposed to make sure they good? So they make sure you good. Y'all making sure everybody's good, so everything is good, is working well, even if he is eating, and that will happen quite often. Okay, baby, clean. Yeah, right. I mean, I don't know. That's their relationship, though. But people can do better, especially if they perhaps were one of my stalkers. Because, everywhere I go, someone comes and they're trying to see what I'm doing and stuff like that. So, I just find it very crazy to be in somebody else's house when your house, your relationship, it might be falling apart, it might be raggedy, but y'all still together, but you in somebody else's business. That's insane to me. Even when I was trying to make my marriage work to that person that's not worth my time anymore, and I wish he would get that through his thick head. See, for some reason, I think that this person say, oh, I made a mistake. She was the one for me. Or she's the better option for me. But no, I'm not. Because what you did was what you was supposed to do, obviously, because nothing happens by happenstance. You were out fooling around, you know this, and you know I don't tolerate that at all, so it wasn't going to work anywho. So, anyway, I don't get it why they still in my energy, trying to act like we gonna get back together after you done did everything under the sun, everything unimaginable, unfathomable you have done to me, but yet you don't want to let it go. That goes for old family members, classmates, co-workers, anybody that has done me wrong and you still actively doing it. I don't know why you would think I would have anything to do with you. That's like Russian roulette. Yeah. When they gonna do it again? Okay, pull the trigger this day. Okay, the bullet didn't get me today. Right? That's crazy. That makes no sense to me at all. So get it through y'all thick head. I want nothing to do with you. If you want peace, then you need to make it. Right? Shed light on an untruth. Right? So the untruth is y'all did something to me. You organized, you orchestrated, you meticulously thought of things to do to me to try to harm me and red rum me. And yet you just won't go away. You won't give it up. You won't, because I didn't know about it until late 2022, 2023. And we're in 2026. And you're still doing ignorant stuff. It makes no sense, right? So, whoever y'all with, while y'all was trying to split my wig and tear me down, and now you're like, oh, she know about us. We gotta do something. We still gotta keep going and go. No. You need to make things right, or it's gonna be bad for you, not me. It's gonna be bad for you. You broke the law. You chose to break the law. You chose to be an enemy of mine. You chose to hire people to attack me. You chose to do all of this. And some of you, like I was saying, if Steve Harvey and Marjorie is involved, you chose to get involved in attack. So, like I said, I was like, oh, why did they take away Steve's show? And then that young man that you had on there with credit repair and Miss Richardson with how to start a LLC, filling in the organized gang stalkers. I forget the Jamaican guy or Bahamian guy name, with his crew sitting up there having me thinking that, oh, my package, my service that I paid for through your service was safe. But no, you're taking my information, giving it to the gang stalkers. You're taking my signature, doing things that I did not consent to. And then all of a sudden, Steve Harvey show went bloop off the air. So that makes me believe that something with Steve Harvey and Marjorie is, because some karma came upon you for attacking me and probably other people and bringing this credit report person, low life person, scamming artist person, publicizing that he's a decent person when he was not. And Lynn Richardson, I don't know, did you teach them how to start a LLC in other people's name and stuff like that? Did you teach the criminals, the organized criminal gang stalkers that my family members are involved with? It's a shame how somebody can have an apartment, buy a car, get credit cards in your name, and you living and you don't know it. I was paying for LifeLock. I got rid of LifeLock because they was acting shady when I called and said, well, I see something happening. And they was acting shady when I called. Unless, because my phone always been cloned. And they would use phone jammers and make sure it go to their people so they can clown me on the phone. And then when I get upset and I start talking to them like, I guess you can say unprofessional, then I guess that's what they use in the court of law to say, see, she's irate. But with the court of law, if they sent in an imposter, no, I'm not irate. You would be angry too if someone was trying to manipulate your life, take things from you. Like my phone is everywhere I plug up, charge up my phone, these people are trying to have access to it. I remember one day being out here in one of the park rangers came out and he was looking at the electrical boxes. And I said, oh, are you ready to turn off the electricity? He was like, no. So I know when I come here and I plug in, they know exactly where I'm at. Isn't that scary? To be stalked like that, someone know where you at, know where you're plugging your phone up at, can ear hustle on you, can mirror your phone is watching you while they watching you through your phone. It's scary, but this is my truth. Until the government, that's called law enforcement, step up to the plate and stop this nonsense, because there shouldn't have been a need for Versace to be murdered like that. And even the singer Selena, she had a whole devil around her, like I did. That lady looked like a devil. I don't know if the family knew that, but it's something about her family and Versace family. It's something going on there. And the one that was like jealous of Versace. Anyway, to God be the glory, because the Bible says, and remember, there are some good things in the Bible, and there are some terrible things in the Bible that have been redacted to fit the narrative of oppressing and putting people under a deep sleep of turn the other cheek, do this or that. Don't try to save yourself. What? Anywho, like I said, if you have a flashback of how the slaves were treated, I can see them saying, see this Bible here? This is what the Lord said. The Lord you pray to, this is what he said. And some of those people could not read or, right? So they went along with it, I'm sure. Because at the end of the Bible, they say, put it in the 7 churches. That's why we got all these different denominations. It's a racketeering, like I'm noticing with life insurance policies. It's all a racket. I mean, and just like other people besides myself say, how did crack get on the street? How does these drugs get on the street? What is CDC doing? What is FDA doing? These are like law enforcers of things that we consume, things that we buy. And I know you say, oh, well, these are illegal drugs, but still, the average person in the ghetto, they don't have access to that unless they're working in the hospital and they done learned how to recreate it. They ain't got no chemistry in their house. Anyway, it's just a shame how in the United States of America, I find that everybody is pitted against one another instead of it being wholesome. It's always some controversy, whether it be in a job, whether it be at school. There's always some type of competition going on. But yet there's abandoned buildings, and there's filthy rich people that we know that when you leave this body, if you buried it in your coffin, somebody will be digging you up to take it out, because you will not be able to stop them. So anyway, I think of in the Bible the 3 talents, the 3 people that the Lord gave talents to, although they were different in value, but he still gave them something to be able to multiply and grow, right? So we know when y'all have fundraisers with the things on TV, if you just give 50 cent can start a water dispensary in Africa or wherever y'all be at with showing that stuff. But yet we have Habitat of Humanity. And that, from my knowledge, is if somebody come help and build somebody else a home for free, then your name can be put on the list and you can be next in line to get a house. So why can't you do that with these abandoned buildings instead of donating to charities, homeless resources, homeless shelters that you don't go check on to make sure they're doing the right thing because some of the employees are rotten to the core. Something is wrong with them. Let alone we know something probably wrong with some of the homeless people because they have either substance abuse, mental instability, or they just have a bad attitude. So when you donate to these type of foundations and then a person like me go there and I'm sitting in this shelter and I'm watching all this craziness go down, I'm like saying to myself, do the people come here to see what their money is really being spent on and how the people are really being treated here? Because I don't want to be treated less than. I want to still be treated like a human being. And if a worker in that facility cannot treat a person like a human being, or if they were told, oh, we are stalking her, so this is what I want you to do to her, something wrong with y'all. That should not be going on. That's like the movie Clueless, the Mean Girl Club, right? Movies like that we see. That is not funny, being a bully or trying to put somebody down or trying to ostracize somebody at school. But yet we see it in the movies, right? And that's exactly what's going on with me. Somebodies are trying to do rejection spells, glamour spells, financial spells, financial hardships. This is all a part of this organized criminal gang stalking. Trying to set me up to be red rum, to be in the course of somebody that is possibly on drugs or have a substance abuse or have mental instability, trying to get them to charge me. But when I see something like that, I'm already like, my senses is spiking, so I'm watching them like a hawk already. So, you know, But I just feel like all these abandoned buildings, something else could be done. I mean, we have free libraries that some of these people go to, and it's good in a sense, but I went to a bookstore. I went to one library. I ain't gonna say all libraries. I went to one library, and their book choices, selection is like trash to me. And I noticed when I was at that library, it's a lot of people that look like me that comes there. But it's downtown, so to speak, I guess. I mean, of course, there's a lot of different people that come there. But it's more predominantly this, I believe. Because it's where a lot of the buses go. And I went to a bookstore down in a different area from Palmer, and this bookstore, it looked like Rerun bookstore, but this bookstore has some interesting books. And I'm like, okay, again, the libraries are donations and contributions and stuff like that to get people on the right track. If people were all about humanity, why not start putting y'all into tiny houses? Why not start doing something with all these abandoned buildings if nobody's not going to open up a restaurant? If there's abandoned buildings, you can put tiny rooms, make an investment, because I see homeless people on the buses. They getting bus passes. The churches are getting bus passes to give to people. Can you help them out with, can they clean up the yard and they have to pay $1 or $2? I mean, if you already filthy rich, you don't, that dollar is still adding to your millions. So you don't need nobody to pay you $300,000 in order to keep your money flowing while you sleep. If you were really going to help out society, that's just my thoughts on things. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short because I feel a little raindrop. I don't want to get rained on, right? And I have a little hike to walk back to my car. But that was just, some food for thought for people with money who sit on TV, some of you, and who sit on board meetings acting like, oh, I do so much for the community. There's so much more that can be done. Instead of going outside of United States of America all the time, there's something that needs to be done right here. Right? No, see, people doing witchcraft right now. Anyway, there's something that can be done right now to help out. In like I said, when I get on those buses, which I see they doing some road construction now on one of these journeys with these buses, because I said something before. I mean, if y'all paying taxes and the roads still busted, where's all that money going? Okay. But anyway, I'm sending love, peace, and light to the ones that can make a difference and make a difference. Make a change. Because I am displaced for a season. But if I wasn't, I would be trying to make a change so that everybody can eat. So they say everybody can feel comfortable in this thing called life with all this beautiful earth. I mean, like I said, everybody ain't gonna be filthy rich, but you dang sure don't need to be homeless and other people looking down on you. Because 50 cents can go a long way if somebody is over the money of the donations and don't steal it. Because that's a problem too, as we know.